What do you believe is extremely important about Vida? It's a unique organization in this community.
Again, I think that anytime we dehumanize people and we stigmatize people, we're doing an awful thing to the human being. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter whether it's Puerto Rican, Mexico, whatever it is. If we stigmatize a person for having AIDS or have been tested and proved to be HIV positive, when we stigmatize that person, we are robbing that person of possibility of getting his health or her health back, possibilities of getting a good job, possibilities of living in tranquility, peace, and enjoying life. In prison, and Ricardo was with me in prison in Terre Haute, but I remember the first prisoner who had AIDS. This guy used to weigh 275 pounds, was a weightlifter, and one day out of nowhere, he disappeared. And probably about 6 months later, he came back from the hospital. And he lived in the same gallery that I lived in. And he went past me and he said, "Hey Oscar, how you doing?" I did not recognize him. It was just bones. So, yeah, people were really like treating him real bad, because 1984 was a year that they started already with the stigmatization of people who were HIV positive. And I remember how people that were close to him started distancing themselves from him. And probably 3 or 4 months later, they took him back to Springfield. There's a hospital, a prison hospital in Springfield, Missouri, and they took him back, and about 4 or 5 months later, he was dead. I was also, like probably a year later, another guy, and in 1987, I was in MCC Chicago. They brought me back for trial. And one guy who had AIDS cut himself and put blood all over the shower. And I had to pull him aside and explain to him that he shouldn't have done that, but he was so angry. He was so angry that he thought that by putting that blood all over the walls, that would get somebody else to suffer, become HIV positive. So I went to him and I explained to him that what he had done was wrong. So I'm bringing this up because any time that we do something bad, there are consequences. And I think that human beings, I remember Ryan White when he was just a kid, and the way he was treated, and school and all this stuff, and he was just a child. So those are the things that I think that are very dehumanizing, that it behooves all of us to say, hey, when people, whatever the problem is, we should never put them aside. We should never distance ourselves from the person, and that we should do everything we can to help, to be of assistance. So this clinic for me, this space for me, is very, very important, because it fights against the discrimination, the stigmatization, and the suffering that people experience when they're discriminated or when they're stigmatized.